With that foundation in place, let's see how the Lutheran view of predestination compares. Total depravity. Lutherans and Calvinists hold to the same view of total depravity. They agree that every part of man, his will, emotions, and desires, is corrupted by sin, leaving him unable to come to God on his own. Like Calvinists, they deny that man is as evil as he could possibly be, or that he is incapable of civic goodness. Lutherans emphasize that man still has a free will in earthly matters. He can make real choices, including good ones, but none of these earn God's favor for salvation. In summary, the Lutheran and Reformed views are the same on total depravity. Unconditional election. Lutherans agree that God chooses his people unconditionally according to his purposes, not because of anything in them or even foreseen faith. However, where they differ from the Reformed is in double predestination. Double predestination teaches that God not only elects some to eternal life, that would be single predestination, but also that he decrees the damnation of the reprobate. Some Calvinists, called supralapsarians, believe that God actively decreed both the salvation of the elect and the damnation of the reprobate before creation. Most Calvinists, though, follow infralapsarianism, which teaches that God actively elects the saved, but only passes over the reprobate. He leaves them in their sin, allowing them to follow their own sinful desires and receive the just judgment that they deserve. Lutherans reject all forms of double predestination, both the active decree of the reprobate in supralapsarianism, as well as the passive passing over of infralapsarianism. They hold to single predestination, meaning that God's election only refers to those who will be finally saved, while emphasizing that a person's damnation is their sole responsibility. In summary, Lutherans partially agree with the Reformed on unconditional election. They affirm single predestination for the elect, but reject double predestination for the non-elect. Limited atonement. Lutherans reject the Reformed doctrine of limited atonement, which teaches that Christ died only for the elect. Instead, they believe in universal atonement. Christ's death was for every individual, elect and non-elect alike. However, the benefits of that atonement are applied only to those who have faith, preventing a universalist conclusion. In summary, Lutherans differ from the Reformed on limited atonement. They believe that Christ died for all people, not just the elect. Irresistible grace. Lutherans reject the Reformed view of irresistible grace. They believe people can and do resist God's grace. Now, they would not say that God is powerless to overrule a person's will. He certainly can and sometimes does for his own purposes. But as a rule, he allows people to reject his offer of grace. In summary, Lutherans differ from the Reformed on irresistible grace. They believe God's grace is resistible by all people. Perseverance of the saints. Lutherans reject the Reformed doctrine of the perseverance of the saints, though there is some commonality. Like the Reformed, they believe that no outside force, whether Satan, sin, or the world, can snatch a believer out of God's hands. But unlike the Reformed, they teach that true believers who have been regenerated and possess salvation can apostatize by their own choice and receive eternal judgment. Yet, like the Reformed, they affirm that the elect will persevere in faith to the end of their lives. In summary, Lutherans partially agree with the Reformed on perseverance of the saints. They differ in believing that regenerate Christians can fall away from the faith, though they agree that the elect will ultimately persevere. Don't stop here. Finish the video on YouTube to learn even more about this topic. There's a link to it on my side, as well as to another recommended video right below it.